Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sum, Count, and Beyond, the Spreadsheet Source, Session 11. Today, we will be learning about the min and max families of functions. In the About section and in the banner image of our channel, you will see a link to a Google Drive folder that has the spreadsheets from all of the sessions. Each file will have at least two tabs, Try It Yourself and Solution. We would encourage you to have your own sheet open or download the file and follow along as we go through our examples together. Before we jump in, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. If you think we missed something or want to see a certain topic we haven't covered yet, leave us a note in the comments section. Let's get to it. So we are going to cover 4 different functions today: min, min-ifs, max, and max-ifs. At the most basic level, these functions will help you quickly find the extremes on either end of your data set. For both the max and min functions, they will only work with numbers and dates. Cells B2 through G37 are the March sales report for Wando's Widgets, the worldwide winner with widget sales. Column B is the date the sale was made. Column C is the rep who made the sale. Column D is the item sold. Column E is the unit price of each widget. Column F is the number of widgets sold per order. And column G is the revenue generated by the sale. And it's a formula. Now that we understand what is on the page, let's get functioning. So first, we are going to try the min function. So we're going to go over to J3. And as always, we start our formulas with an equal sign. So we're going to do equals min, open parentheses. And then we're going to select from G3 down to G37. We'll close our parentheses there. And we get the value 60 in J3. So what we're saying here with this formula is that the smallest sale during the month of March resulted in $60 of revenue for Wando's Widgets. So next we are going to try the min-ifs function. And so if you remember back earlier, we said that min can only be used on cells with numeric or date values. So min-ifs can be used to find the smallest numeric cell based on numeric and non-numeric criteria. The general setup for the min-ifs function is equals min-ifs, open parentheses, the range you want to look at, comma, range 1, comma, condition 1, comma, range 2, comma, condition 2, close parentheses. So we're going to look at 2 different scenarios with our min-ifs. So first we're going to look at the smallest sale that Pedro made, and then we're going to look at the smallest sale that Kayla made in the first half of March. So let's jump right in here. So we'll do equals min-ifs, and if we look at our menu here, there is actually no min-if option. So we did have count-if and sum-if, but we don't have a min-ifs. Or a min-if rather. So we'll just use the min-ifs. We have our open parentheses. And so we are going to look here at the range. And so we're going to do G3 down to G37. We're going to lock that in with an F4. Then for our first criteria, we're going to look over to C because we want to see Pedro. So we're going to go to C3 down to C37. We're going to lock that in as well. And then we want our criteria to be Pedro. So we entered Pedro into K4. So we're going to do comma K4. We'll close our parentheses off. And we see 75. So the smallest sale that Pedro made is $75. Now, there's a very specific reason why we put our locks around the minimum range and the first criteria range, but not on the criteria 1 over here, K4. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it a little bit easier to do the next formula. So we're going to use our fill handle here. And what we're going to do is go ahead and just drag this down. And so what we see if we look at the formula now is our sales rep, our range is still the same, and our revenue is still the same. The only difference is that instead of looking for Pedro, we're going to be looking for Kayla. Now, curiously enough, Kayla had the exact same smallest sale. But remember, we're going to be doing a second condition, so we're going to go right here, right in front of the closed parentheses, and then we're going to do comma, and our range 2 is going to be from B3 down to B37. We're going to lock that in. And then we're going to do less than or equal to 3/15/2022. And remember, when we use our comparison operators, we always need to put quotation marks around those. So we'll do an open quote, less than, equal sign, close quote, ampersand, shift 7 on your keyboards, and then select L5, and we already have a closed parenthesis in there because we didn't delete it out. So now we see that for Kayla, the smallest sale in the first half of March was $315. And let's go and see if we can check that out. So we're going to use our filters. So we're going to select Control Shift down or Command Shift down, and then Control Shift right or Command Shift right. And we're going to do Data Filter. And we'll filter on Kayla. And so we see here she had a really nice first half of the month, not so great in the second half. So there's the 75 when we didn't have that second condition in there. And then her smallest sale from the first half of March is that 315. So let's go ahead back up to the ribbon here, and we'll clear the filter. Okay, so nice job. We just learned about the min family of functions, and now we're going to go ahead and look at max. So unlike min, which finds the smallest value, max is going to return the largest value. So first, let's look for the largest sale in the month of March. So we're going to do in J6 equals max, and we're going to select from G3 down to G37, and we're going to leave it unlocked for this time. One more, there we go. And we see that it's $875. So $875 was the largest sale in terms of revenue during the month of March. But now let's add some conditions on it so we can get a little bit more targeted with our search. So we're going to do equals max ifs, and you'll see again there is no max if, there is only max ifs. So we're going to do max ifs, open parentheses, and again first we want to look at the range that we want to do the max of, so we'll go G3 down to G37. Again, we're going to lock that in using the F4 key. Then we're going to do comma, and our first range is going to be column C, so we'll do C3, then hit it with a Command Shift down to C37. We're going to lock that in again with an F4, and then comma K7, which is Sally, and then we're going to close our parentheses. So now we see that for Sally, the largest sale was $625. And again, if we want to check that, we can always go up here, Command Shift down or Control Shift down, Command Shift right or Control Shift right, and go up to the ribbon and turn our filter on. And if we go ahead and filter by Sally, we can see that her largest sale right here, $625. Another really quick way you can do it if you want to look at kind of the total set is just to click the arrow and it sorts it from smallest to largest. So another nice kind of quick feature to check for min and max. Let's go ahead and turn off our filter though. So again, we see that 625 is the most for Sally. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a second condition, and we're going to look for Bob Widget 2 revenue. And again, you'll realize that we locked in our ranges, but we left our criteria unlocked. So if we do a Shift down and then Command D on your Mac or Control D on your PC, we're going to go ahead and copy that formula down. So right now we're saying that Bob's largest sale was $575. If we look at the formula really quickly, we can see that we're looking at K8, which is Bob. And while we're in the formula, let's just go just to the left of the open or the closed parentheses there. And we'll put a comma, and our range 2 this time is going to be widgets. So we're going to select D3 and go all the way down to D37. Give it an F4 to lock it in, comma, and then we're going to select L8 for widget 2. Again, our parentheses is already closed, so we can just hit enter here. And we see that Bob's largest widget 2 sale was $360. And again, the reason we love to avoid hard coding in cells is that if you find yourself in a situation where you want to get to a different answer, it's always easier to do it by just being able to type in. So let's say we wanted to do, Pedro and widget 1. See that the largest sale is 250. If we wanted to do, for example, Jim and widget 5, so that he made no sales of widget 5. So again, really just a nice, easy way to quickly change what you're looking for and be able to really quickly respond to any sort of requests or changes that come in, while you're in the spreadsheet without having to really change the formula very much. So nice work, everyone. You just learned more about the max and min functions in Excel. And before we close out and get to our normal closing, let's just go ahead and format these really quickly so it looks a little bit prettier. So we'll go ahead and select everything. We're going to go to our ribbon here, and let's left align everything. So remember, we like our headers and our data to always be the same alignment. And then we see here that we have some that are currency, some that are not. So if we highlight this group of cells, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip it to currency. Again, go up to the ribbon here, flip it to currency, and then let's increase. It's always a guess with these ones, so let's go ahead and decrease our decimals. And so we're going to decrease our decimals down, so now it's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to follow. So again, well done. We just covered max and min functions. We looked at some formatting, and we also reviewed how to use filters. So to sum everything up, the min and max family of functions are extremely useful when you are trying to find the extremes of a given range of cells. You can count on this session to help you understand the differences between the min and max functions and how they work and how they can be used with a sample data set. And let's keep taking your spreadsheet knowledge beyond what you thought was possible.